Hey guys, welcome to Mitch's Music. Today I am going to give you a behind the scenes look at some of the things I have coming up and the programs that I use to put my videos together if you wanted to try it yourself, and how I think about recording the videos and the parts. I'm going to show you all of the software that I use as well as the how I put the parts together. And so at the end of the video, if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below and let's get started. So I'm gonna switch you to my desktop really quickly. All right, so here's my desktop and below are my programs that I use. I'm gonna start with Reaper. So I've used a lot of software to record. I started using Pro Tools years ago, and then I got tired of paying the subscription. I got tired of keeping up with the iLock and just all of this that stuff. Plus, the computer I was using at the time, because this was several years ago, the computer I was using at the time was older and it was getting loaded down a little bit with Pro Tools. So I switched to Reaper, and lately, I'm not going to pull this one up, but lately I've been messing around with Studio One by PreSonus. Right now, I'm still liking Reaper a little bit better. I feel like um, I'm just not comfortable with PreSonus yet. Um, but I was hoping, because I've used Ableton as well, I do not like recording in Ableton. I um, was hoping that PreSonus would be a program that I could use for MIDI instruments and things like that. Most of the time, I'm just doing guitar parts, but I have had a vision of adding more MIDI instruments to the mix. So, anyway, that's a little bit about the programs I use. So, this is Reaper. This is a song that will come out later today. So basically, what I've done with this one's a little bit more complex. This is one of the classical pieces that I arranged in. And like I had said before, some of the hardest parts is figuring out the arrangement. So what I did with this one, I've cut these up so you don't quite, this one is basically finished. I'm just going to do some mixing and mastering on it. But this one's basically finished. As you can see, I've cut it up quite a bit, and see here's a part right here that I'm still going to have to trim. But basically what I did is I just let the camera record, and I played through it a couple of times. I had kind of an idea of what I wanted to do. Um, but if, as you can see up here, I set this one to 40 beats per minute because I wanted it to be really slow, and then 80 right here to speed up. And I probably could have gone faster. That's one thing that um, I still struggle with these programs is changing the tempo sometimes, and definitely the time signature. For instance, like if I'm starting right here on this 80 beats per minute, it still gives me a count in of 40 beats per minute, um, which is kind of annoying. But anyway, here is what it sounds like. Plug the speakers in so you don't hear it twice. All right, I was too late on plugging the speakers in. So, there we go. Hopefully it's coming. Let's try that again. these programs don't like necessarily when you change their settings in the middle of them being open. And I also think this computer's a little bit overloaded. But anyway, that is the setup for that. So as you can see with this one, I recorded several different tracks. The majority of these were all in one take. This one down here, um, I just kind of recorded it until I got it the way I wanted it. So this is basically the lower melody and this is the higher melody. So that's where I record. And then after that, I take it over to Camtasia. In Camtasia, so this is Stranger Things that I released yesterday. So with Stranger Things, I did it in sections. So I did the intro. So these are the intro chords. This right here is that main riff that kind of plays throughout. What I do for a lot of these that are repetitive is I'll record it once because especially with this one, I wasn't sure how I was going to do the arrangement or because I wasn't planning on copying the song exactly, but just giving the basic parts in it. So I recorded this part and then I trimmed it up, and so I just looped it after that. So when you hear it, you're hearing about I think 4 measures of me playing it. And then right here, this um, these are 3 parts that I put together. So you've got that same part right here that is that melody going, that background part, sort of the da 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 da. Then right here is the other lead part, and I put all of these together. And so where the music comes in, so this is the last piece of the puzzle. Once I get all of this together, and so this is the exported file from, actually, I use Studio One for this one. So this is from Studio One. So this is the exported file from Studio One. So after that, all I do is I hit this record button over here, and I have already written out the music in Sibelius. It's another thing that I was testing out um, with Sphere from PreSonus to see if I liked it. And right now, I'm still a Sibelius fan. It's just a little bit easier to use. I do not like the way either program treats guitar. They're kind of hard to write. Like if you're trying to do bends and things like that, it's a little hard to write. So when I was doing the Love You Like I Used to solo, I did that one in Notion by PreSonus because I was having a hard time getting the bends to look like I wanted them to. And even in PreSonus, I still didn't get it like I wanted it to. So basically, what I do in here is I set the tempo, I turn it to, so this is Stranger Things. So the tempo set at 160. I turn it to panorama. All right, get the transport up. And then so I go back to the beginning. So basically what I would do is at this point, I would hit record right here. I'll just show you. So if I hit record, all right, I was afraid that I was going to load down this computer. So there it is. Okay, so basically all I got to do, and I'm not going to do it because I don't want this feed to stop, is hit record right here. Then I would hit play right here, and it would just play through. And then once that happens, come back over here, and that's where my files are. So this is that same file actually recorded. The reason it's in here twice is because I'm still making some edits on the score, and it took me a couple of times to get it right. So that's basically my process, and you can easily do this too. So let me switch back to where you can see me. So you can easily do this too. I'm creating these videos so that you guys can see the parts, how to create these things yourselves, like take a song from TV and make it your own, or a classical song, or basically how to cover any song. So if you have questions about this process or anything else, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to click that subscribe button. And let me know if you have any requests. It's the end of Halloween, so the end of that spooky song experiment. I like to switch more to I do a lot of folk stuff in November because I feel like in Georgia everybody's going to the mountains and everything, and so I'm kind of in that spirit. So be looking for old school country coming up in November, as well as some bluegrass, some folk, hymns. That's what's going to happen in November, and then in December, I'm switching all to Christmas music. Um, and you might see some Christmas shorts coming out even in November, just to kind of advertise my videos from last year. So let me know if there's any requests, Christmas songs, folk songs, old school country, anything like that that you guys would like to hear. And on this live stream, what I'm going to start doing all the month of November, because it's getting into that Christmas season. People are buying new stuff, and guitars are normally a part of that. So I'm going to talk about um, some of the ways to get started quickly. So, like if I had a guitar right now and it was the first time I had ever picked up the guitar, that's what we're going to talk about. And we're going to kind of walk you through that in November so that when you do get your new guitar on Black Friday or Christmas or whatever, you'll be ready to go. So if you have a request, leave it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good weekend.